Alright guys, welcome to RC Mojo. This week we were going to fit some lights to the little Heng Long truck. Only having Friday to get it working, I skipped a few steps and made some assumptions. It's a shame, as I got one of these super cheap little dev boards with an tiny 85 on. Just enough to run the headlights, the tail lights with a few lighting modes. However, I didn't check the power supply, and when turning on the ESC there were some rather funky transients that promptly killed the poor little micro. I'll have to do a proper design rather than a lash up and get it working properly with a power supply that's going to suppress the crap coming from the ESC. I reckon an extra small, very basic light controller might be useful in some other projects too. The backup plan was the wireless trailer lights on the Grand Hauler and Reefer, but that's not quite there yet. I probably should really have finished up the firmware between Christmas and New Year, but instead I built a couple of Tamiya static models. I've not built one in years, must be over 20. I used to get Airfix kits from the local newsagents whenever I had enough pocket money saved up, but I could never afford the paints, which made for some interesting colour schemes. But I was 10, so it didn't really matter. And that's about it really. I haven't got anything new to show you. I have, however, been thinking about putting together another scaler with an eye on making it properly waterproof so I can go full submarine. Our TRX4 is fairly waterproof, but it's got the electronics box in the roof to control the lights that does limit the depth a bit. I was thinking maybe one of these Chinese chassis. They look like good candidates, except for the main gearbox where the spur gear's a bit open, but that wouldn't be impossible to fix. The bearings will most probably not be the greatest, so they need replacing with sealed ones, which does put the price up a bit. The Charisma Coyote looks pretty good too. The RTR comes with a waterproof ESC, and the gearbox looks simple to make sure it doesn't let too much water in. Not sure if the servo's waterproof, but a replacement isn't going to cost all that much. Another chassis would be the Abysma CR 2.4. Cheaper than the Charisma, but wow, that body is certainly a thing. On the plus side, it does have a very simple chassis layout with a full cover over the spur gear. It would be fairly easy to seal it up with some nice sticky marine grease. It comes with an ESC that they claim is water resistant, so again it would only really need a replacement servo. The main attraction is the price. It's quite a bit cheaper than the Charisma, but it would really need a different body which would make up the difference. But then I do have a Land Rover hardbody without a chassis, so perhaps the Abysma would fit under it. Could probably use the Traxxas servo we removed from the TRX4 too. It's going to be a much lighter truck, so it would be torquey enough. Oh dear, this is starting to sound like a plan coming together. Anyway, that was a bit of a short and random video this week. If you have any ideas for a nice simple 1/10 scale that will make a good candidate for making a submarine, post in the comments. Something fairly cheap that has a nice body, or is roughly the right axle width for the D90. So, until next time, thanks for watching, like if you liked, and if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe. Bye guys!